afternoon. My name is Alasan. I'm the member of an NGO called Ekolog. So my mentor and director Nargis Kasim, unfortunately she's not here today. She wanted but she couldn't, some circumstances. However, I'm here and I'm also the editor-in-chief of the internet website, Ekolog.uz. Has anyone ever visited our website or visited our Telegram channels? No? Okay.
It's the first time.
Right. Nargis Kasim, she's in fact a very prominent eco-activist and environmental journalist. I joined her team back in 2019. She had been already in the field for about 10, 12 years, covering environmental problems and ecological issues of Uzbekistan and Central Asia. So when I was back in from Singapore, I found that lady and joined her team. And we have our members, Firuzbek, Fatima, Camila. They're all our eco-volunteers. In fact, my mission and vision here to not only tell about our movement, but also try to recruit some more eco-activists and environmental movement passion young people among you, so you can also help us to make maybe a little change at least. Okay, so Ekolog.uz, although it has been in the field for about 7 or 8 years, we finally got the paper this year in January, preceded by our other achievement to have been registered by the Minister of Justice, Ekolog NGO, which is very, some people may know that it's very difficult to have that paper in Uzbekistan to be a member of the civil society, especially the NGO member. NGO stands for non-governmental organization, and it has its own power, so-called, to make some changes in our life. For instance, we represent environmental movement. There are other NGOs who can work in different fields for disabled people, for kids in different areas. But our priority is mainly about environmental issues. So you can see here some of our goals, where we try to highlight our issues and raise environmental awareness among young people especially, and talk about the climate change problems. And we'll be traveling to Horizon for a couple of days, where we'll be talking about eco-gender issue, which is a novice problem in Uzbekistan. You may find about it in the internet. The international arena has been talking about this problem for years, but however, Uzbekistan, well, for some reasons, have been stifled to talk about gender equality or eco-gender issues. So we'll be highlighting, and I hope we can talk more aggressively about that problem. So one of our main priorities is to, you can see, assist policymakers in creating eco-laws, and for that we constantly interview, well, the politicians and business people who can also contribute in some way to help our movement. 2 weeks ago we interviewed the Minister of Ecology, I forgot how it's called now, it's very, very long. Ecology, environmental problems, and climate change. Sorry, I forgot the name. So Aziz Abdulhakimov, he was pleased to give an interview and talk about the problems of Uzbekistan. And symbolically we met at the new venue for the Green University. Have you heard about Green University?
Yeah.
Which is about to start in September. So it's a new ground on the outskirts of the capital, Dendra Park. The landmark is called Dendra Park. So the ministry has this permission decree by our president to establish a new Central Asian Green University. When it's a good news for us to, in fact, there was something special dedicated to environment and ecological problems, specifically because we have different areas where they study ecological problems, hydrology, geology, water issues, agricultural. However, there is a new university to be set soon in September. I guess that they have already opened its admission. You can also scroll and find out on the internet. We also have our hot talks about quite healthy, deep discussions among people. One of the hottest issues that we encounter nowadays is about animal cruelty. Maybe you heard about that problem in Uzbekistan, where we have stray dogs and cats who are abandoned, and but eventually they're slaughtered in some places brutally. However, the international community always condemned that kind of approach. So the developed countries always have the support from the public, from the government, from business. So they support financially and in any ways to have the shelters for them. However, in Uzbekistan, we don't have that kind of attitude yet. So we are battling this issue too. We also consult responsible bodies, and maybe you also heard about the new department in the prosecutor's office that will specially deal with the ecological problems. The office of the prosecutor, so they will be dealing with the ecological problems like illegal logging, dumping, littering. There are many issues with the air pollution, which you may think how it's going to affect the criminal offense. Yes, there are many business areas where they deliberately, in most cases, they know what they do, but they deliberately pollute the air by dumping, by using old lorries, or they just dust up everywhere. They don't care about population, in fact. So you may find my words a bit harsh, but that's the way we have to talk about the rapidly changing climate change, and it is irreversible. That's why we're trying to, in fact, I'm here to talk about this more aggressively and more openly, that the problem is here, as you have already encountered when we were coming here, standing under the scorching sun. Yes, when we were checked, the sun is burning us. You may find that, oh, okay, you don't notice and you don't think about it first, but then when you start considering the problem, especially this year, then maybe watched and listened on radio about the hottest day in the record in July. So this year was the hottest in the recent history of humanity, and it hit hard every country, especially Uzbekistan. Okay, so you may also find out some more information from our social media platforms and on, yes. So we have more than 20,000 subscribers on our Uzbek, obviously, channel, then 7K on our Russian, and we are picking up on our English, which has been established 2 years ago, and we still have less than 200. But however, we are very glad that the international organizations follow us, and they, like that body, they call and find and tell that, oh, we have that and the topics we wanted to talk about it. So although there's still few, they still follow us in English, and there's a new channel recently established, which will be run, which is run, in fact, a couple of days ago, which is run in Karakalpak language. So, yes. this is our website, quite modest. In fact, we don't earn from it. So when some government bodies say that, hey, look, you don't need to talk, you don't come, you don't have to do this and that, I say, hey, now you look. Those international, so those internet websites like Ekolog.uz, and other, they're all profit organizations. But for us, we pay from our own pocket. No one gives money. We are not funded by any organization. Whatever we do, at least for now, we are cashing out from our own pocket. Okay, Nargis Kasimova. Okay, she's a doctor in science in eco-journalism. You may follow her own website too, but in fact, many local and international organizations, they all know and respect her. Okay, and this is our small team. Okay, that event was held in May this year in collaboration with the youth agency. We picked up over 100 new eco-volunteers and taught them different things like climate change, carbon footprint, water footprint, and they also participated in different contests about how to build the best nest for birds. It was held in the Zamin mountains. Anyone from GSOC? No? Have you been to Zamin mountains?
Sanatoria?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the mountains,
Yes.
the range. It's very gorgeous. In fact, when we visited, I've never been to the Zamin mountains before. When I visited those ranges, it was absolutely magnificent. And I hope that we could keep that virginity in itself. However, there are many, again, problems there where we could see illegal construction sites without any permission built under restricted natural reserves. We conducted, maybe I can play it later, we conducted plogging. Have you heard about plogging activity?
Can you describe a little?
Plogging was developed in Europe, namely in Sweden, when people run and pick up rubbish. Okay, so we are working on that. So we wish to spread that kind of activity more aggressively. And luckily, some local bodies they picked up our activity, and they also conduct. You could maybe watch on YouTube in the area in the botany garden. Yes, they conducted a couple of plogging activities too. But it would be nice if you could do it nationwide, everywhere. This is another. Yeah. Have you heard that issue before during the pandemic? Okay. This article was also on the spotlight, not only here but internationally. Nargis Kasimova, she wrote about the guy from Russia who hunted our endangered animals. He shot down that one, and for entertainment purpose, he posted on Instagram. So we had an article, and we had the pressure saying that how dare you to talk about it. And we found out that he had another permission. In fact, he did it legally. That's what we tried to bust, where some, I can say, corrupt people don't care about us. They just care about their pocket, and just issued a couple of permits, and they said, oh, go and hunt. So he hunted that one, he posted, and we managed to stop another hunting. However, he also tried to crack down, but luckily we are still alive. Eventually, we achieved one of our finest goals. Back then, the head of the Committee of Ecology was sacked by the presidential decree. We managed to fire him out from the system. He came from the cotton industry, had no idea about environment, about ecology, but we managed to do that. So after that, well, some people start to talk about it. We also talk about fake news. Maybe you heard about these kind of things. And some poultry farmers suffered due to some fake news. This problem, I covered that last year when I was still working for UZ Report. Then I had to quit again due to some reasons. You can see
River, is it?
creek, and you can see the color of it. If you come close, you can see it's maroon, not blue, not red, maroon. And we drink it. This creek flows in and flows out from the river Chirchik. So I covered that problem all the way from the start to the end, 150 kilometers. I drove, I walked, I shot, I rode, and eventually I had to leave my job. Yet this is one of our another achievement. So the government bodies now are trying to do something and resolve this issue. We also have lessons for kids. Let me recall. It's called Mihalikular. We have, as I told you, Fatima and other eco-volunteers throughout the country. Okay. They wholeheartedly join us and contribute their best to spread this. And that's it. And so, Sabdo. Last year, well, almost a year ago, the US Embassy on the project Comic Store invited me and one of our eco journalists from Samarkand to visit the States.
Do you need help? You asked for something.
Yeah, so you can play the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So last year in September, for about 2 weeks, we traveled.
Is that working?
Not YouTube, not that one.
Not that one, just YouTube, regular YouTube.
Yes. I sent in the link, in fact.
Let me go use
Yes.
my mobile phone because I don't have that information.
Well, yes, as an environmental journalist, I try to visualize the information. So I pick up from the different data from different sources and I digitalize. You can do it yourself too on different
Could you
platforms. For example, I
biggest-
use Flourish.
Could you please do it biggest?
What data is it? Tashkent region.
Calls for a decade-long leadership in terms of air pollutant emissions.
Tashkent stays in the first place, yeah?
Yeah, you can see.
Here it's to Tashkent city and Tashkent. What
Yes.
is different?
Region.
It's region.
It is not necessary for you to know. It's for journalists, where I show how to use data journalism visualization methods.
Maybe copy it.
Let's see. This is the small footage. mission, and I did it with the environmental issues committee. I forgot the names changed very fast. So in fact, they helped me to inspect the water quality. We tested the water quality, the usage, the banks. They're all affected. Whatever we eat, potato, water quality, they're all connected. And those problems are abandoned in fact. One of the biggest problems is our natural resources. This one. Illegally, they use gravel and sand. No permission. No document. And the US trip. So I have a small. No, not that one. Not one. This, yes.
Can you do bigger?
For 2 weeks, the group of environmental the Pittsburgh officials are to For 2 weeks, the group of environmental journalists from Central Asia visit the US to meet and share experiences with eco-activists, eco-journalists, and NGO representatives. Our first day of the trip starts at the Colorado State Energy Office in Denver. The state officials are determined to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and consumer energy costs by advancing clean energy, energy efficiency, and zero-emission vehicles to benefit all Coloradans. George Chetwin, Director of Climate Communication, says that the state officials have pledged to reduce economy-wide greenhouse gas emissions to 90% by 2050. After the meeting, we drive to the University of Colorado in Boulder, where we are welcomed by Cyrus people. Professor Michael Glantz shares his current experience and past memories of joint research projects that aim to preserve the Aral Sea. I think I'm very fortunate to talk to the experts of Newport Ridge Atmospheric Monitoring Station and witness the beauty of the Continental Divide, located at Newport Ridge near the city of Boulder. before dropping by the famous National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, which is an American scientific and regulatory agency that monitors, studies, and predicts changes in climate, weather, ocean, and coasts. The next day, the Office of Climate Change, Sustainability and Resiliency introduces us to the Promoting Biking in Denver program, which effectively tackles the city's global greenhouse gas emissions problems. I'm very excited to meet Norbert Clevel. I remember watching his Geo's Neighborhood project on CNN. The genius master manages to integrate net zero energy design, community gardens and composting areas, per location car parks, soak up rain and snow melt, extremely airtight construction combined with 24/7 fresh air ventilation, and many other super environmentally friendly contraptions. The Eco Tour proceeds to Evansville, in Indiana, where I meet the like-minded activists of the Sierra Club, who are relentlessly fighting to shut down the coal-fired power stations across all 50 states and Puerto Rico. On the second day of our stay in the state, our group mates and I snatched an opportunity to interview the Pulitzer Prize winner, John Blair. Now he is a member of the ValleyWatch.net NGO that exerts all its effort to protect the lower Ohio River Valley from plastics, primary and secondary metals, refineries, and chemicals. Well, the area is also infamous for its largest concentration of the coal-fired power plants in the world. Then we take a plane to the steel city of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. We meet wonderful scientists from Carnegie Mellon University. They are also studying air quality and pollution in the States and have expressed their desire to meet their colleagues from Uzbekistan. An amazing Pittsburgh 2030 district initiative of the Green Building Alliance is committed to reduce carbon emissions by staggering 50 to 65% for existing buildings and zero carbon for new construction by 2030, while reducing water consumption and improving indoor air quality. At the pinnacle of our exciting trip, we witnessed how the world's first completely powered by natural gas and on-site solar energy airport system operates. The Pittsburgh International Airport's microgrid consists of 5 natural gas generators and 9,360 solar panels capable of generating 20 megawatts of electricity. The grid has saved so much money that Pittsburgh officials are considering doubling the number of solar panels. And that's it for my presentation. Any questions if you have?
Thank you.